Farnsworth, Philo Farnsworth. I didn't talk about him enough yesterday. Philo Farnsworth. Okay, and I want to tell you, this is the monologue. It's called the Philo Farnsworth, the Philo Farnsworth paradox. I'm just going to call it the Philo Farnsworth paradox. Okay. Now, why do I have an extra sock in my? I think I took them off last night, and I dropped one outside of the camper. Because in the summer, I like to sleep in the camper. Because I can't go camping every night, but at least I like sleeping in the camper. So, Philo Farnsworth. First of all, I want to tell you, I almost had a heart attack experience this morning. Okay? So I get up about 7 o'clock every day. 7:10, 7:15. And that's my route. I get up, I take my shower, and then I go down. I make my breakfast, and just that's my morning. It happens all the time. I get up at 7. This is so I get up, I take a shower, and then I'm in the kitchen. Okay, nobody is up. It's very quiet. I'm listening to Fox and Friends. At a very low sound, and I'm sitting, or I'm standing next to the stove. And so I'm facing the stove, and I've got the hot water because I was going to have oatmeal this morning. I had oatmeal, whole wheat toast, and a banana, and or orange juice, and so I am facing the sink because the stove because I put a cup of water and a half a cup of oats. Good morning, Anthony Bateman Sr. So I can't believe a week has already gone so fast. I was literally in Connecticut last Wednesday. And Tuesday I was at Anthony Bateman Sr. All right, so anyways, I'm making me oatmeal. Okay, and so I just poured the water in, and I put some salt into the water. I turn around. Okay, literally I do this. I literally turn around. And guess who's standing literally right in front of me as I turn around? And he's standing like this. Guess who it was? Can anybody guess who it was? I literally did this. And it's right there. Didn't make a noise. I didn't hear him come in. I didn't hear him walk. Didn't make a comment. No, it wasn't Frankie. It wasn't the Unabomber. It wasn't the X-Men. Bryan Cranston, no. It was Xavier. He's just standing there. I go, what? Whoa. And I screamed. I literally screamed. My cat even woke up and came downstairs. I screamed. I said, what are you doing, trying to scare me out of my life? And I'm hungry. I'm hungry. He goes, I'm hungry. It's 7 o'clock. He goes, I'm hungry. I'm thinking, what the heck? I'll tell you, the guy's loony. I mean, he could have been standing there with a hatchet in his hand. I'm thinking, holy cow. All right, so anyways, I want to get back to the Philo Farnsworth paradox, okay? Because this is really amazing, okay? And I was watching, this is my monologue, because Snuggles says I have to have a monologue every day. I don't know what the heck that means. Anyway, so Philo Farnsworth. Who is Philo Farnsworth? Well, there's a debate on whether, he's got the patent, okay, for the television. 1920, RCA sued him. RCA said they did it in 1923. His school teacher actually showed the paper that he actually drew the invention of the television on the paper in 1922. He was 14 years. I want you to understand that this is what is so amazing. And this is why people really have to think outside the box, okay? And a lot of people are not thinking outside the box anymore. So here is a 14-year-old farm boy from Iowa that is in the field, okay? After he's reading all these scientific magazines, he's looking at the field and how the field is cut near all these lines, and he's thinking lines of images. Now, how does that happen? His brain. He's, I can't say this enough. He's 14 years old, my goodness. And his school teacher said, you know, you better watch this because this could be, you know, somebody might want to take. And well, the RCA. So here's the thing that I really want to emphasize, and that if it wasn't for Philo Farnsworth, okay, television might not have happened for years yet, maybe 10, 20 years. So television, it would have been invented, but, you know, it might have been another 10 years because RCA was having problems with resolution. Okay, and that's why they couldn't get it done. And so they actually had to use Philo's, his patent, okay, to get their tube done. But by the time they were doing that, his patent had expired, so he could do it for free. Okay? But it was Philo Farnsworth that is real. I mean, other guys that were inventing television, a guy had basically a round thing with holes in it, and that would then project the screen, but it wasn't practical for television, like I'm doing right now, watching an iPad, okay? And everybody in the world, oh man, I messed up on X. Everybody's viewing me all over the world. And it all belongs to, I really believe, Philo Farnsworth. Okay? Because he's the one that figured out about the resolution and the right chemical, okay, to put on the inside of the screen. Now, all this is mute nowadays because everything is LCD. We don't use tube television anymore. But the process and the concept is still the same. Okay, it was a 14. This is why I tell people I don't want to ever hear the word can't. Okay, I don't want to ever hear the word we can't do something. Okay, I don't want to ever hear the word that's impossible. That we cannot do that. I am so sick and tired of the word I can't do that. Okay, it's like with David. David says this is too heavy. I said okay, fine, David. You can't, if you don't lift this up right now and bring it into the shed, you don't get your switch for the day. Well, you know what? For some reason, he has this extra energy that he keeps set aside that all of a sudden he can pick that thing up and bring it into the shed. So here is a 14-year-old farm boy in Iowa. 14-year-old, okay, let me make that very clear. He's 14 years old. He lives in Iowa. He's still in school. He's a farm boy, and he's reading all these scientific novels or these scientific books, and he comes up with the idea to make a television. Hello? Does anybody see that an enlightening idea? We couldn't have things good also if Nikola Tesla wasn't around. Oh, Tesla was also underrated, okay? I'm just saying that you have a 14-year-old. Okay, that's like Frankie. All of a sudden, if Frankie basically was looking at something, what Frankie can do things that are kind of impossible. And if all of a sudden Frankie came home to me and showed me this diagram on a let's just say what do you call it? A propulsion machine. Shoot, what's the word I want to say? Continuous propulsion machine. Let's say he just had a drawing. All of a sudden it came to his head. Okay, that's exactly what Philo Farnsworth was doing. Okay. And all these things were happening at the same time in the 1900s. You had Alexander, all this happened just so everybody knows that all the things that we live with right now, everything that we, for example, anti-grav. Let's say all of a sudden Frankie came home because he was looking at something and said, hey, Dad, I think I got an idea for anti-gravity. Well, what are you talking about, Frank? How did that come about? That's exactly what happened with Philo Farnsworth, okay? He didn't get the credit that he should have, okay? He didn't get the credit probably that he all the time and the money, and this is what I was saying yesterday. What he should have done is go, after he had the patent and basically go up to RCA and say, listen, I've got millions of ideas. Okay, I'll help you with this as much as I can. I've got the patent. Okay, I will, give me a 1% royalty or whatever you want. Let's make an agreement and you can start doing this right now. Okay, now I don't know if that would have happened, but the same thing, I was watching this thing about Orville and Wilbur, and I didn't realize Orville died 45 because of the lawsuits that he was in with Curtis Manufacturing. And if they would have just gotten together, because Curtis had the motors, Wright brothers had the airplane. And because of the lawsuits of Orville and Wilbur Wright in the 1920s or the 1919 during the Civil War, during World War I, our aviation in America was dramatically hindered. And but within 5 years, we had surpassed what we lost. But what I'm getting with Philo Philo Farnsworth is the age in which he invented the television, the basic concept of the television. You cannot underestimate the sheer creativity and the spontaneous creativity that is in, and I think it's the same way with Elon Musk and the reason that I'm so excited about the Falcon 9 and the Super Heavy is the fact that they on the last launch that had already launched, that rocket had already launched, they already used it, and so they were just testing it as a test. Okay, well, how would this launch if we launched it again? It worked. It worked. It worked. I can't tell you the ground shaking importance of reusing a rocket engine after you've used it. There's just no way to tell you. There's no way to say it. Okay. Now I'm really psyched today for some reason. I don't know why I'm so psyched this morning. I guess I watched another documentary about Philo Farnsworth. Okay. And I was just, and then I look at my store and I look at what I've done over the last 20, 40 years. I've always tried to do something that people told me you can't do. Okay. Like when I opened up Young's Newsstand, even my mentor, Floyd Kraft, says, what are you doing that for? Why? That's not going to work. And people say, oh, you can't do that. That's not going to work. Well, you can't sell Games Workshop. Nobody sells Games Workshop in Northwest Ohio. Here's the thing I always get. There's no market for, no, it's Farnsworth, not Barnsworth. Oh my gosh, Chucky B. There's no market for what you're trying to do. There's no market for slot cars. There's no market for a Gulf tanker. Okay, Bryan, there's no market for this. Okay, and so you have to have the market before you make the product. Okay, and I've always been the one that's saying, okay, no, all right, there's no market. Okay, there's no market. I'm going to create a market. Yes, big business does suppress, and that's what RCA. See, RCA wanted to control everything. I can't remember the guy's name. He was in control of RCA, and he wanted to be just in control of everything. He had the patents for all the tubes, so if anybody wanted to make a radio, they had to come to him to get a license. So it was just ridiculous. And so, but without the money, okay, it's hard to create what you want to do, okay? Philo Farnsworth, he had the idea, and then these investors came to him with $20,000, and they said to Philo that we can make millions on this by selling the rights. And Philo, he had his pet project, and he said, no, I want to keep. And to me, that is it's, you got a dream. And so like Orville and Wilbur. Orville died young, or I can't remember which brother, whether it was Orville or Wilbur. I think it was Wilbur that died when he was 45. And then Wilbur he gave up after about 5 years. He just quit the whole airplane business. Just gave it up. It's really funny how things go, and then it wasn't Curtis. Then after he was free to do. He came up with innovative aircraft. And then you got Howard Hughes in 1920s. Let me make this very clear. The airplanes that were made in the 20s by Howard Hughes were so superior in design and engineering that they were so far ahead. He was making, and even in his hearing, you can see this online if you go online, about his interview with Congress, he was talking about how many airplanes that were designed but never made. All the money that they did in research. The Flying Goose, another prime example. The Flying Goose was a design. Can we make an airplane that we can take an entire battalion? And he said to her, listen, if this thing won't fly, I'll leave the country. And what did he do in California? He flew the Flying Ghost for almost 5 minutes. He got it in the air. It flew. And he did that back in 1946. That's why when people tell me, I'm really psyched this morning. For some reason, I'm just really, I'm just really psyched this morning. I don't know what happened this morning. I just, well, you know what it is, and this is just kind of crazy. I'm not a great reader. Okay, I can't really read because of my dyslexia. I can do it. It's just very frustrating. Because when I read, here's the problem when I read, and I don't know if this happens with you. When I read, okay, when I'm reading something on a paper, I'm dreaming about what I'm reading, and so therefore I get ahead, and then I start thinking about what I'm reading and what ideas, the things start coming into my head. I can't focus enough. Because I've had dyslexia my entire life. Okay. And so lately, I've been listening to the sci-fi stories on YouTube. They're short stories. They're anywhere from 10 minutes to 30 minutes to an hour. Okay, some of them are 2 hours. They're just short stories, And
where did you put the one car?
One car.
The one from yesterday that you found supposedly.
I put it over on top of all the stuff. Has that been packed? Okay, where'd the order go? It was right here. Oh, right here. I told him it's a 70 model. Just pick a model kit. I'll let him know that he's getting a random kit. What? No, I screwed up. Yeah, that's the right car though. So what was I got distracted. All right, so all right. Oh yeah, so I've been listening to these short stories, okay, and they're all science fiction, and they're all and the reason I like them because Hollywood is very negative, and so all their science fictions is the humans always get destroyed, the humans just never can win, and we're always losing, and aliens take over the world, blah 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 blah. One thing. And all these stories that I'm listening to, maybe there's a bunch of them that are American or the world gets destroyed and the world gets taken over. But every story that I'm listening to, maybe it's because I keep listening to the different versions of the same story, is that there's always a galactic council, okay? And they always want to suppress the humans because they're the most unique. They want to be creative. They want to be free. They want to do what they want to do. And so they all decide, hey, let's gang up on the humans. And there's always one race, okay, that stands up and says, hey, listen, I wouldn't do that if I was you, okay? That's not a good idea. The humans don't tempt humans. And there's always one race that will stand up and says, oh, we can do it. We are the Exoxrian Empire. We will crush the humans. And they end up getting to Sol, getting to Earth, and then all of a sudden, they're not Americans, but the humans have this secret weapon, and they're annihilated in 5 seconds. Okay. But I always like the comments. It's always like, don't mess with the humans. And don't ever, another funny one is, don't ever capture a human child. If you do, run. if you do, run. You know? And so I take that from the same point of Philo Farnsworth, okay? What Farnsworth did, I know you might think, why, Bryan, why are you talking about television and Philo Farnsworth? Because you know what? We need more Philo Farnsworths. We need more. And if you tell me right now that we cannot invent the next great invention because we don't have the right people or we don't have the right educated, I'm sorry, but Philo Farnsworth just basically disproved that 100%. Zero college. Zero. He was 14 years old. He drew a picture of how he wanted to do his television, and he was self-taught. Don't tell me we can't do something. I don't want to hear it. I literally don't want to hear it. Do you know how many times people said I couldn't do something? Look at this. I know I've shown you these 100 times. You see these? They're 43 exclusives. From 2020 to today, we've done 43 exclusives. Don't tell me you can't do something, okay? I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear the word, hey, good morning, X. I know there's nobody watching X right now, but that's fine. People will jump on when they get to their X vision. So I don't want to hear the word, I can't. Hold on a second. Can't, couldn't, wouldn't, and didn't. That's what I always said. Couldn't, that's what I was saying. Couldn't, wouldn't, and didn't. Actually, I don't think this one's that one. Oh, yeah. That was a car, so any kind of car in there. Here, you know what? I got the perfect car to send in. right on there, substitute. All right. If you have a problem, and now we'll have to come out of inventory, that one there. Okay, so getting back to Philo Farnsworth. So for example, Xavier. So Xavier's a prime example. He's 23 years old. He loves computers. He loves to get play around with computer. Okay, so he's a typical Philo Farnsworth. Okay, so if he's got an idea, okay, it's always an idea. Okay, all right, and his idea, if he's got an idea in his head, boy, this is what I'd love to do. Okay, but he's thinking, well, I never have the opportunity to do it. Well, that's not the right way to think. The way to think about it is, okay, how do I obtain my vision? Okay, how do I obtain it? Is Bryan the way to do it? Is Ryan? Is this the right direction? Am I getting to the right direction? Because everybody is a Philo Farnsworth. Okay, we all have ideas. We all have visions. We all have aspiration to do something that's impossible. Okay, I've got it right here. I walked by this bank back in 2020. Matter of fact, I walked around it back in September of 2020. All of a sudden, I saw the for sale sign. I'm thinking, oh, you're kidding me. It's for sale again. And I call them. And I go, how much do you want for this bank? Because the last time I called, they wanted 60 grand. And I said, how much do you want for this bank? And they go, we'd like 45. 45,000? I said, and so I'm on the phone. I said, I'll give you 35 right now, cash. And so on Saturday, they met me here on Saturday. I said, I'll give you 35 cash right now, if you'd take it. I wrote the check on Saturday. They said, do you need a appraisal? Do you need anything about the place? I said, no, I don't. He goes, why? I go, well, for one thing, Huntington Bank bought this building, okay, and they put $100,000 into it. They put a new furnace, a new roof, everything brand new for the bank, and they closed it a year later. So I bought the bank for $35,000. Almost 2 acres. $35,000. But that's a vision. See, most people, now some people do, okay? Like Anthony Bateman and Peter and Gary Labonte, they wanted to be a part of my vision, my dream, my trip. Now other people are beginning to look up and say, wow, maybe I want to do that. Maybe I want Bryan to come to my place. Maybe I should have Bryan come to my place. So I had a guy sent me an email, and I got this yesterday. I can do 550. So I had a guy send me pictures of, he's got 47 cars, and these are all Auto World, unfortunately. Not unfortunately, but these are all cars that we've sold out of, and I didn't have these cars. These have been out. These have been discontinued or sold out for years. Okay, and there's a lot of cars. I was quite amazed how many cars he's got that I've never had, and or that they've sold out. Now some are duplicates of what we have, but a lot of them are just. And I've got this Porsche, this AFX Porsche. I'll show you the car that I'm talking about. It's not a Porsche. I think it's a. But we sold out of that almost a year, 5 years ago. So the guy called me and said, "Would you do you want to make an offer?" And I sent an offer yesterday, but I don't think he understood it. It was a little lower than what he wanted. All right, so this is 410. 410 unopened. 410 unopened. 414, 411, 411, 408, 414, 410, 410 unopened. So, so I guess you're probably wondering to yourself, why is he talking about Philo Farnsworth? Well, you know what? That's a very good question. Why am I talking about Philo Farnsworth? Because we need more people dreaming. We need more people. We need more people dreaming. We need more Philo Farnsworth, really. That's what we need. We need more Philo Farnsworth. We need so many Philo Farnsworth that it would rock the world. Okay, that's what we need. We need millions of Philo Farnsworths, and it's not just America that has it, but the one thing about America is that people come to America for that dream, for that vision that is unattainable, and they come to America thinking, I can do anything I want. I can have an idea. I can be a farmer. I can be an Iowa farm boy in Iowa, and come up with the idea. Okay, so we just sold an M118. So I could come up with an idea of a television, make a rough draft, get investors, because this is what's really amazing. He goes to these investors, shows them a concept, and he was able to imprint on a screen the dollar signs. And all of a sudden, the investors will give you $20,000 to give us a prototype. He does it. And again, you're probably saying to your Bryan, enough with the Philo Farnsworth. No, I'm not. I'm not going to say that. Because I think Philo Farnsworth is the prime example that anybody. Okay, we just sold a shotgun. The brand new shotguns that we've got. Now, what happened to those? Oh, that's right here. So we got these new shotguns. Now, what happened to the packaging? And then our cowboy gunner shells, item 140. So we have the Texas Ranger badge, okay, which has a magnet on the back of it, so you can wear this all day long. All right, and that's a Texas Ranger, and it's magnetized, so your kid can wear this all day long. Okay, he can be a sheriff, a Texas Ranger. He can be a Texas Ranger. Texas Rangers. So the guy got that, and he also got a police special forces mechanic sound shotgun. Now that's brand new. That's item 106. Oh, right here. A 106. So we got a 106 shotgun. I can't really show it to you because I'll get in trouble. That's really sad. I can't show these. They're just toys. And then we've got a guy ordered a Colt 73. a 73 black, though. He ordered the black version. Black version, and he ordered 1 packet of caps. 1 packet of caps. So we sold 4 guns, 5 slot cars, and Philo Farnsworth. Because in a sense, oh, come on. Oh my gosh. In a sense, I was Philo Farnsworth, okay? Because I was in the Navy, I got out, I said, I'm going to open up Young's Newsstand. Everybody thought it was a stupid idea. Everybody. Even I was telling you earlier, my mentor, the guy that I worked for in high school, Floyd Kraft, said, that's crazy. But I got bored. I had it for a couple years. It did great. Most of my kids were born. I remember David or Frankie not Frankie, but Ryan and Daniel and all my other kids were born. I think Bryan was like $3,000 to have him. It's Philo Farnsworth. You got to remember that. Philo Farnsworth. Everybody can be a Philo Farnsworth. Xavier could be a Philo Farnsworth. He's only 23 years old right now, Xavier. He's just getting started. He's just getting started. His life isn't even 23. What was I doing when I was 23? Well, I was underwater. I was probably in the South Atlantic. I was off the coast of Africa, probably. About 300 feet off underwater. I was probably supplying parts to somebody on board, or I was inventorying a ship. Okay? And I had visions even when I was in the Navy. I had ideas of doing things. And then I got out and opened up Young's Newsstand. Let me make this very clear, too. No one taught me how to open a retail store. No one explained to me. I didn't go to a class. I didn't go to school. I didn't go to a college class on how to open a business. I just did it. I didn't really want it today to be necessarily about me. I just saw that, and when it said that Philo Farnsworth was 14 years old when he drew the plans for a television set, you just can't make that stuff up, okay? And then he goes back, he gets married. He's got troubled life because, he's being sued. See, here's what happened. Here, I'm going to tell you right now. Okay, here's what happened. Let me take this other box. Let me come over here. Okay, somebody died in the bathroom. I mean, somebody really died. I mean, it is so bad, we're going to have to fumigate it around here. I mean, it's permeating. The stench is permeating around here. All right, so here's the deal. So Philo Farnsworth, okay, so RCA is working on the television. He's got, I can't remember the guy's name. He's got this guy working on it, but he can't get it perfected. There's something wrong, okay? And Philo's invention is the fix, okay? So that's the thing you want to realize. That Philo had his patent basically fixes what RCA couldn't do. But RCA didn't know that. And then all of a sudden, Philo Farnsworth, I can't remember where he submitted it, but it got into the paper. And RCA saw that article. And then he ramps up his television development. But they're still missing the mark. They can't get the resolution. And Philo solved it already. Now he's older than 14, but he basically, his design is what he got patented. Okay. And then they take him to court. Okay. So here's the real crutch. So they take him to court, Philo. And he spends lots of money doing this. RCA's got, bottomless pockets, and it finally comes to the last day or sometime in the last day of and they said, do you have proof that you did it in 23? And Philo goes, yes. And he brings in his science teacher in school. And his science teacher still had the paper that he drew on and gave it to him in 23 or 22. And that's how he won the patent. He was the inventor of television. And RCA just let the patent run out. And unfortunately, you can't, it was. Who blew up the bathroom? I think Xavier is dying basically in there. I think he's dying. He's literally, he must be blowing 100 million. Well, RCA, yeah, not RCA, but Zenith is the one that came out with the first remote. But yeah, that's right. It's anything. It's the guy that invented the windshield wipers. They made a movie about it. From eating too much bologna. They say a stinky poopy is healthy. Maybe he's working on a big idea. That's right. He could be a big idea. Now, I don't want you guys to make fun of this, okay? Because here's why Philo Farnsworth we need to be nourishing more Philo Farnsworth. Because you never know. Well, who invented the slot cars? Well, that's a very interesting question. Because I don't know the exact name of the first person that thought of it, but Lionel was working on it back in when they first came out with their Lionel sets. They had rails, basically. Scale Electric kind of perfected it in the 1940s, late 40s, early 50s, because they used to use old bomber tires and cut them up and make rails. Because I've seen one of the original Scale Electric sets that were made from bomber tires, okay? I invented slots in 1912. Bryan, go Google Robert Patch. Hey, Siri, who is Robert Patch? Hey, Siri, who is Robert Patch?
On June 4th, 50 years ago, Robert W. Patch of Chevy Chase, Maryland was awarded a patent for a toy truck design. It could be taken apart and reassembled in a variety of configurations by a child. Not so unusual.
Hey, Siri, who is Robert Patch? 50 years ago, let's see. 50 years ago, toy truck design. Six years old. Listen, when I was 17 or 16, I had the idea because markers were just coming out, and they had a thick marker and a thin marker, and I thought, why don't you? So I took this to a lawyer, a patent lawyer. I said, why did they design a marker with both a thick on one end and a thin on the other? I have one at the home. I was using it yesterday. It's made by Milwaukee. I've got so many ideas in my head for items that, you know, if I spent money on every single one of them, I just got too many of them. I literally have too many ideas in my head. Really, I do. And it's really amazing how many ideas of different inventions, of different ideas, of different concepts, you know, is almost ludicrous, really. But we need more people like that. We need more thinkers and inventors and creative people. Okay, and we need places that encourage it and foster it, and that's really what Menlo Park was. Okay, now obviously people have disagreements with Edison. You know, they don't think he was the greatest guy. You know, he was closed-minded, and you know, I don't really care about that. All I know is this: he basically went to AT&T because they were having problems with their tickers, and he created a ticker that he got $20,000 for, that patent. And he got that money to create Menlo Park, his research center, okay? And he had all those guys working for him, okay? But he was one that was coming up with all these ideas, okay, that he got patents for, and then he started manufacturing them. Okay, that's what we need. We need Menlo Parks everywhere. Okay, we need them in schools. We need them in universities. We need to start teaching people how to be creative. Okay, and that's what we need more of. My dad invented the teardrop trailer before it was made. The teardrop trailer. Good morning, Slot Car Misfits. Yes. Anthony Bateman Sr. Well, let me tell you some secrets about Anthony Bateman Sr. that you might not know. Okay? I don't have any secrets about Anthony. Anthony Bateman Sr. is about as open as you can tell when he does his live streams. Okay? So, that's all you have to know. So if you want to know who Anthony Bateman Sr. is, just go watch his live streams. See, that's why live streams are so important. Okay, is because they show the real person. Okay, I could have a scripted show where, you know, I'm going to script everything, and if it's not right, you know, I don't really care. Okay, I've always been this way because I've been a comedian, and I've always, I always have been funny in front of people. I literally do not care what people think of me, how do I want to say this? It doesn't offend me of what people might think behind me if I do something or if I'm talking to them. Like, for example, where was I? Yesterday. I was somewhere yesterday, and I just always just randomly say something to people just to be funny and all that. And I don't know how they respond to me sometimes. I'm wondering if they look at me like, this guy is crazy. But you know what? I like to bring levity to things. Where was I? Okay, what did I do yesterday? I had to go get, no, that was on Tuesday. No, today is Wednesday. Monday, I had to go get my license plates. And then Tuesday was yesterday. What was I doing Tuesday? Oh, yes. Okay, so I go into Amos' car RV place, and there's a kid there behind the desk. He's 21. And I guessed his name. I said, what are you, 21? He goes, yeah, right on the dot. I go, why are you wearing a mullet? Okay. What are you wearing a mullet for? I go, I'll give you $100 if you shave that mullet off right now. And he goes, no. Now I was joking. I said, I was going to get, if he did it at 100, I was going to give him. And then I said, how about 200? No. How about 300? No. And so it's like, I don't know if I'll ever see him again, but it's just the interaction. It's the funny interaction you have with other people. Okay. Bro. Okay. So Anthony Bateman loves to use the word bro. Okay. Anthony has a good live stream. Okay. So here's what Anthony Bateman Sr. needs to do more often. All right. So when he does his live stream, he needs to put the camera more on the track and have the track and him kind of like an offset, and he needs to race a couple times whenever he does his live stream. He has to show his track, okay? And he doesn't need to be standing because he's got his feet. I didn't even want to see his feet because his feet are like this, okay? You know how your feet are like this, but they're like this. Okay, it's like walking on a cliff with Anthony Bateman. And then he's got both his knees replaced. I'm thinking like, but you know what, and I didn't know this, and Anthony Bateman with the weightlifter, I mean, he was like this huge tank, and he would just weightlift, and he was just very muscular. Okay. Well, it's, when you do that all your life and you take all these things that you shouldn't, which he did, and he regrets it now. So that's basically what the show is all about. Okay. Now I could start showing off cars. People love when I just go randomly and show cars, because I wanted to show off. There was something that happened last night. I was watching talking about a car. Well, I had a guy come in yesterday, and I think I was talking about him. All right, let me think about this, because there was a car that was promoted, and I wanted to talk about it, and now I can't think about it. Oh, darn it. Anyway, so when you do a live stream, you basically you cannot fake yourself, okay? Because sooner or later, this is what's very funny about live streams, okay? And somewhat with reality TV, but reality TV is not live. It's all scripted. So, for example, whenever they did a American Chopper, or whatever that call, Orange County Choppers, or whatever reality show, like the Duck Dynasty, those were all reality, and they're scripted. Now, what I mean by scripted is that, so they don't know what they're going to do necessarily, but it is kind of scripted in the sense, okay, well, here's what we're going to talk about, and here's how the shot's going to be. Here's how we're going to set this all up. And the reason I knew that, because I used to watch episodes of Repo Man, or something it was called. And he had this facility, and people would come to his facility and pay off their repos. And this is when I realized that this is all scripted. None of this is spontaneous. And what I'm saying is that, this just happened. Now, when you're watching me and I get mad at Xavier, or if I get mad at Mac Henry, I'm just getting mad. Okay. All of a sudden I lost it. But so I was watching this episode of Repo Man, and this guy drives his truck, okay, into this facility, and they show him driving it in. So the front of his truck is in the front of the store. He walks in, he screams, yells. He has this temper tantrum. He knocks over furniture and everything. All scripted. Okay. It was all planned. And here's how I knew it. Is that when he left, after he got mad and he left, the truck had been turned around and it was facing forward. So all he had to just drive off. And he spun the tires. That was the last episode I watched. He just spun his tires and drove off. Because it was scripted. It was, okay, you need to turn the truck around so that we can get a good effect of you driving off. Okay, come on. If you drove in, you should drive out the same way. And so when you're watching my live stream, well, there's nobody over there. Okay, I can turn around right there. There's nobody standing there. You're watching X. There's nobody behind me. Okay, there's nobody there. I'm right here all by myself. So when I do these live streams, I don't have somebody that comes up to me, or Daniel, or Ryan, or Xavier, or Matt Kenner. No one ever comes up to me, okay, Bryan, this is what you want to talk about today. I basically, either the night before or in the morning, I'm sitting quietly here all by myself, like from 8 to 9. And so I'm getting ideas of maybe what I want to talk about today. What slot cars do I want to show? Like, for example, do I want to show you this orange, our exclusive 2209 GT, Ford GT orange? Do I want to do that? Do I want to promote something specific? Okay, do I want to go in the vault? That's how my day goes. That's how it's all random. There's no script. And so if something happens that is a mistake, then that you're going to see that. Okay. You're not like when Daniel comes in. If Daniel comes in and he gets me the wrong way, well, I'm going to be showing that emotion. Absolutely true. Okay. It's like when Nate comes in and he's got a ton of deodorant on. Okay. And see, he do you have a lot of cologne on this morning, Nate? No. So he didn't. So see, he's corrected that, because every day he would come in with a ton of cologne. So what? So you're not doing it anymore.
No.
He used to cake it on like it was, now he has a little bit, but not too much. But he was caking it on like his girlfriend, like, you know. And then he would come in with hickeys. Okay. Ah ha ha! Yeah, he come. Not no more, because I said, what do you got right there? Oh my gosh, Nate. Boy. Row, row, row. You're like, holy moly. I didn't do that. I think I only did that to my wife once, and then she smacked me in the face. You can't do that. Everybody's going to see it. They got to know what it is. Yeah, it's a hickey. Holy moly. So anyway, and what I'm just being honest, people. This is the way it is. So Philo Farnsworth. Okay, so we're going to end it. We're going to end the Philo Farnsworth conversation. So if you don't know who Philo Farnsworth is, please get on the internet and check him out. It's a real guy. He really did it. He got a patent in 27. He got the patent. Check out who he was, how he did it. Because what you're going to realize is that, which is, I think, the amazing part about it, is that he was 14 years old when he had the idea for the television set. That's beyond me. Okay. I'm just telling you, that's what happened. That's not a fiction. It's nonfiction. It's absolutely true. He got the patent in, I think, 1926 or 27. RCA was suing him, and he won the case. But I think the irony of the whole situation. Okay, so he's saying this is a problem here. Oh, that's an AK-47. So they didn't order the M117. Okay, they ordered the AK-47, the new one. No, the old. Oh, yeah, 38. He ordered the old one. Let's see. This is the new one. He ordered the new AK-47. We got new ones. Okay, I can't really show it to you, but this is the new one. Okay, there you go, Philo. I'm going to call you Philo from now on.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I am. I can do whatever I want. Okay, Philo? So Xavier is my Philo, okay? Because I think Xavier, if he put his mind to something, he could create something, okay? You never know, all right? Because if Philo Farnsworth, a farmer from Iowa in 1920, creates in his mind the television set, I mean, give me a break. I mean, that's another thing too. Man, I got a lot to talk about today. That's the hard thing to do, is constantly talk. But you know what? That's what people like to hear. They like people talking. For some reason, they love when people talk. Anyways, I lived in this apartment complex in Toledo called the Imperial Trace Apartments. Now, we moved there in 1970, I think. So in 1970, you just were having the solid circuit televisions, the solid circuit radios, all this solid circuit, that you didn't have tubes anymore. So if you have to understand this, all televisions in the 1960s, most of them, 90% of them, were all made with tubes. I mean, these things were this big, okay? And they all had tubes. Well, those tubes would go bad, and either it would affect your horizontal or your vertical. And so you'd be watching a show and it would just keep looping. Well, that was a bad tube. Well, here's what I found out. And this is my Philo Farnsworth kind of epiphany. So in the basement of this apartment complex, everybody was throwing away their TVs. They were just putting them down there because they bought a brand new solid state television. They were going to JCPenney's right at the mall. They were picking themselves a brand new color TV. They were buying a new solid state 22-inch TV. And they were getting rid of all their tube televisions. And they were putting them in the basement. Well, I was going down, getting them. I was bringing them up, and I put them in my apartment because we didn't have the money to afford a TV. My mom was so poor in 1971, she couldn't even afford a television, okay? And so I took all these tubes out of all these TVs in the basement, and I took them to Lane's drugstore, okay? And I started categorizing them. I even had them, I had all the numbers categorized. I found out that, okay, this is for vertical. This is vertical. This is vertical and horizontal. That these would fix that problem. And I'd put the tube in there and it would say bad. And so I would just throw it away. Okay, bad tube. And then I'd find another one, same tube, but it was good. And so that was good. All right, so that means that and then I'd find another one. And so then I would take these TVs that weren't working. And I was putting tubes that I had taken out of other TVs, and I was making these TVs to work. Because most of the tubes in the TVs were the same tube. And I got myself my first black and white TV. I would watch Creature of a Double Feature, Ghoulardi, and I was starting to watch my Godzilla movies on Saturday night, Sunday night, Friday night, and that's how I got into my obsession with monster movies. And then I was finding these really small TVs that were almost like suitcases. They were little tiny, and you would lift them up, and they had these little tubes that were this big, but they were very long, but they were tubes. I mean, they had the same resolution as a 32-inch TV. And I got all these little tiny TVs with radios in them and everything, and I was collecting all these TVs. And I'm thinking, good grief, all these people are throwing all these TVs away, and they're perfectly good. I was in heaven. My time living at the Imperial Trace Apartments was probably the funnest time of my life. Literally. I was literally a 11, 12-year-old living next to Franklin Park Mall as it was being built. Okay? I would go through the mall as it was being built at night or during the day and collecting bottles and getting 10 cents a bottle on them. And then after it was built, I would go there every day and play and collect money, spend money. I would clean windows in a snowstorm at Franklin Park. I'd just go randomly scrape people's windows off and I'd get tips. Man, I made money. I would figure out how to make, I would do anything to make, I would figure anything to make money. How do I make money? How do I get money? And I remember walking, so I had to walk to school. Horseman School, which they've torn down. Everything they've torn down. My apartment complex torn down. The only thing they haven't torn down is Franklin Park Mall. And that's the only mall left in Toledo, is the Franklin Park Mall. They even changed the name to Westgate, and they realized, hey, this was a mistake. We got to take this back to Franklin Park. And they did. Now, they did get rid of this beautiful glass tower, but I guess it had a lot of problems. It leaked and all that. But I used to walk to school. One day I was walking down the hall of my apartment complex, which is, is an average apartment building. And I looked down and there was a piece of paper there, and I put it in my pocket. I didn't know what it was. And so I got at school. I'm in school, and I'm looking at my pocket, and I pull out this paper, this wadded paper, okay, neatly folded. And I open it up, and there's like, I can't remember, $6-7 in there. Now, let me tell you something. $6-7 in 1971 and 72 is like $50 today. At least $50 today, if not 25, okay? I mean, I could go to McDonald's twice with $1. Okay, I could get me a hamburger fry and a Coke for about 50 cents. All right, so when I found $7, I thought I was rich. Okay, I looked at myself like, oh my goodness, holy moly, that's $7. I couldn't believe it. And then I made my most money when I found this lady. She's got this lady right across the street from our apartment complex. She had a bunch of kids, and I don't know if she was. Oh, they did taste better back then. Everything McDonald's tastes better back in the 70s. Nowadays, it just tastes terrible. There's no taste to it. And so this lady, she had a bunch of kids, but I don't know if she was married or not. Anyway, she wanted to know if I would do the lawn for her in the summertime. And I said, yeah, I'll do the lawn. And she paid me $20 a week in the 70s. That's where I got a lot of my money. And then I made these little business cards that says Bryan Young Fix-It-Man. Okay, now I was 12 years old. I couldn't fix anything. But I put these little signs out because for Christmas, I got this little printing press. And so I made these little business cards that said Bryan Young Fix-It-Man. Okay, and I passed it out to all the people that lived in the apartment. I passed it along to people in the neighborhood. One day I got this phone call. Hello, it's Bryan Young the Fix-It-Man there? And I go, yep, this is Bryan Young. Okay, and I'm 12 years old, people. Just so you know, I'm 12 years old. And I go, this old lady said, my doorbell doesn't ring very well. Can you please come over and inspect it? I said, sure, ma'am, I'll come right over. So I go over there, and it's a typical doorbell, the spring and all that. I think I fixed it like 3 or 4 times. I finally got it fixed. But and then all of a sudden, I come home one day, and my mom said to me, Bryan, what's going on? What are you passing around the neighborhood? I said, nothing, I'm just passing around little business cards, Bryan Young Fix-It-Man. Well, I couldn't fix it. I was 12 years old. I didn't know how anything worked. I was just a tinkerer. I would tinker things and fix them and do I just, whatever I could do to make a buck, okay? And that's what I did. And that's what I'm doing now. I'm 65 years old. And we have probably the prettiest pickup, or the semi that we've got is the Mayflower. And the new one is going to be the Golf. The Golf, look at that baby. Isn't that beautiful? And that's going to be our next vehicle, is the Golf. Okay? The life story of Tinker. Well, you know what? It's a funny story because everything that I've done in life, has been exciting. I will never regret anything. There's only one thing that I would ever regret that I did that I probably should not have done. Okay? And if I look back on it, it's hard to pinpoint one item that I did that I wish I'd never done. Okay? And I really can't find one. Because everything I've done, I had fun doing it. Even crashing the airplane in the middle of the highway. You know, you might say to yourself, that's crazy. He didn't do that. Well, I did. I crashed my ultralight right in the middle of Ledyard Highway in Ledyard, Connecticut, back in 1981 or 82. I almost killed myself. I was 30 feet in the air. Okay, so, you know, drop at 30 feet in the air and see what happens to your body. It's a great moral, it's a great moral builder, okay? You know, but being on submarines, having the airplane, no, I don't regret that. I don't regret marrying Kathy. I mean, the only thing I regret about Kathy is I should have seen her bedroom before I proposed. No, you know what? We've back when Kimmy died, I went to a psychiatrist because I was extremely depressed, and the psychiatrist told me, he said, well, first of all, Bryan, you have to realize one thing. I said, what? He said, well, first of all, that families that have a child that dies, they normally will get a divorce 50% of the time. So if you're a family, or if you're a husband and wife and you have a child dies, you'll probably get a divorce. He said, Bryan, Derek died and you guys are still together. And the other thing he said was, well, you had Kimberly died and you're still together. So you basically have had 2 children died and you're still together, which is very rare. And he said, one of the big things that helped you out is that you had your workshop to go into when Kimmy died. Because after Kimmy died, you know, I did want my separateness. And I would be in the shed a lot. And obviously I was traveling a lot with SCX. So I wasn't necessarily home a lot. So Kathy could be her time. And then in 2010, well, actually 2009, boy, it really got rough because this was a month after Kimmy died. I was in Texas, the whole month of Texas, visiting all the Costco's and doing demonstrations of the SCX Digital. And I had Kathy come out for a week out in Texas for Thanksgiving. And she drove out with Daniel, Lincoln, and Catherine. And they stayed a week with me. And it was a little tensional. And that was just a month after Kimmy died. And so, I mean, I was on the road all through 2009, 2010, 2011. You know, so, you know, Kimmy, you know, getting married with Kathy, you know, I don't have any regrets with that. There's really never been a thing that I've done in life that I regret saying to me, darn it, I shouldn't have done that. That was stupid. I mean, there's always something in life that you do that you wish you could reverse, or there's a situation that you did that you wish you didn't do. There are so many people that do things that they do on just, like, for example, the 4 teenagers in Michigan that threw the rock off the bridge, you know, and it hit the car and killed this guy. You know, did they wake up in the morning thinking that they were going to kill this guy? No, but, you know, their life now is altered forever, okay? And, okay, now we have Derek. Oh, brother. Now I have to deal with Derek. Okay, guys, here we go.
Man, you ain't talking about nothing. You boring. You need to find something to talk about. You put me to sleep.
Okay, so I am putting Derek to sleep. Okay.
You boring. I'm finna get up and my wife gonna order me something Chick-fil-A. Hear me?
I can't believe this. Okay, well, Bryan, my other black friend that lives in Cleveland, which he's going to make me a chicken dinner, okay, he likes me, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are we going to do now?
Hey, you boring. It be funny.
All right, so I'm supposed to be funny for Derek, guys. All right, thank you, Derek. Unbelievable.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you what you're talking about it too.
All righty, okay. All right, so I'm supposed to be funny for Derek, so I have to get off these boring stories. So I don't know if any of you were watching this live stream yesterday or Monday. Okay, let's talk about something life-changing, like when I subscribe to your channel. So Adam, see, here's the deal. Tell Derek to do something. Hey, Derek, Rod Rodriguez to tell you to do something. Okay, so here's what I'm finding out: that if Derek calls me, Adam has to see. Adam's at work. Okay, Adam is working. Okay, and he's doing something. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just walk around and I'm just going to show you stuff in the store. Maybe there will be people here that watch this later on today and say to themselves, maybe I want to buy that. So we have these micro, they're called micro mini boats, and you put these in ponds or pools, and you can run around the pool and the pond with them. I'm going to take one of these home tonight, and I'm going to show you how they work. I was going to do it last night, but I forgot. Then we have these little submarines, okay, that you can put in the water, and these will go underwater, okay? These are pretty cool. Then we have these, they're called micro 130 or 160. Okay, Derek's calling again. Oh, brother. Yes, Derek, how you doing? Hey. I haven't placed that order yet because I'm not allowed to.
Why not?
Because we're on a order freeze.
Hey,
Okay, all right, bye.
motorhome's ready.
It is?
Yeah.
Which way is it pointing? Same place? You want to park it right in front of the church?
You want me to do it?
Can you?
On that emergency start, when you start that.
Uh-huh. Did you try it?
Your battery's dead. Yeah, I tried it. You turn the key and it won't start. While you're holding the key in the start position, you got to push that
Well,
emergency
did you try? Can you charge the battery?
Probably.
Can you put it on a charge for a while?
Yeah.
And then I'll come get it when I'm done with the live stream.
Okay.
And then get me a total of what I owe you for that and the or the Freon and all that other stuff.
Freon for what?
Well, for the HRV.
Oh, we didn't put Freon in it.
Well, what did you put in it?
Put a new relay in it.
What do you mean a new relay?
AC compressor relay was bad. Wasn't turning it on.
Okay, and then Daniel's HRC doesn't have air conditioning either.
Bring it down.
All right. That's what's great about local mechanics. You know what's so funny? So I've lived in town for 25 years. And the first 10 years, I was always going to Bowling Green for my auto service. Always going to Bowling Green. Now I take it all to ATEC. He's right next door. Okay, now where did Derek go? Oh, Derek wanted the water rockets. We're not allowed to buy anything right now. I'm on a spending freeze. So we have RC Jeeps. RC Jeeps. That's the item number right there. Oh, that's 750. You can't see it. You can on X. Micro Jeeps. We have Explorer drones. These are cool right here. Very inexpensive. $39 drones. Really nice. the Explorer. And then we have, we still have 6 left of these, which are the Steak and Mongoose 2-packs. Hot Wheels. And then we come in here. We have a whole line of kites. So if you want a kite, we have great kites, like a P-58 kite. And then we have just miscellaneous toys, you know. I mean, this. We have these coloring books. They're called mash-up coloring books. We have little horses, dinos. Shooting Elite. We have Tonka trucks. We sell Tonka trucks. Excavator. And then down here we have little shilling robots. We have Parcheesi. We have stacking robots. These are what I like, Lincoln Logs. We have these Lincoln Log sets. Paul Bunyan. We have mini tanks. All these are in our general toy department. These are cool. These tanks. Thank you and have a great day. Gary Lamonti, yes. Good morning, Gary Lamonti. Gary Lamonti from Vermont. Yes. Yes. Oh, you want a couple models? Can we call you after my live stream? All right, okay, I'll show him off to you. I'll show him off. All right, yeah, I'll go do that right now. All right, and you want to call back then? Yep, hold on. Hold on a second. I got to put you on speaker. All right, now we have a Ford. Okay, we have this Ford. I got this Ford.
Yep, you're getting there. Now, did you have any of the 3-in-1 kits by any chance?
I don't. I have a Galaxy Ford. I have a Ford Classic pickup truck. Those two are.
It sounded like a 40s pickup. I think that's the one you told me that you had. That was a nice one.
And then I have a Chevy 64 pickup. That's a nice kit right there. I'll set these right here so you can see them while I'm finding more.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And then I have the 5-window 2-in-1. You can only build one of them, but there's all the parts to build 2 of them. And then I have the Ford F100 pickup. Okay, and then we have let's see here.
Ooh, that 2-in-1 is the one I want.
Hold on,
That'll do it. And probably
Then we have this right here.
Ford.
We have a classic.
Put the two together. I'll take those two. And you don't have to make the order up right now. I don't want to hold you up for long, but that black pickup and the 2-in-1.
All right, I will get this. I will get this in the system, and I'll call you back with the credit card. Okay?
Oh wait, I'd rather have the white truck.
The white truck.
Yes, the white one and the 2-in-1.
All right. All right, I got those set aside, and then I'll get the.
And I'll let you go, unless you want to do that. I'll let you go and get back to the live stream, and I'll call later to make the order.
Yep,
up.
I will have the order all made up, and then you just call to pay for it. Okay?
Sounds like a plan.
All right.
And I'd probably take, you know, the little fat tires for the like the rear tires for the Jeep, you know, the Thunderjet T Plus tires.
Yes.
Probably a pack of those. I really appreciate that. That is exactly, I built that white truck one time when I was a kid.
Did you really?
Yes, I still got decals for the, I meant to show you all the old decals that I got from like, remember that 66 box that I gave you for Anthony Damon Sr.?
Yes.
I still have decals, and I put them on some of my little cars.
Well, let me get this.
Because you use all the decals sometimes, so you know they hang out. And something that I've had for probably 60 years.
All right. Well, let me get these in the system, and I'll call you back. Okay?
Thank you so much.
Yep. All right. Thanks, Gary.
Bye. Bye.
Hello there, Bryan Young, ProTinkerToys.com. Can I help you today, please? Hello there. Hello, can you hear me, please? Can you say something to me today? Hello? Hello there. Are you there on the phone right now? Can you talk normally? Hello? Hello there. Hello, can you hear me, please? Talk to me now, please.
Hi, this is American Express letting you know that your account is past due.
No, I paid that.
Future late.
I already made a payment on American Express. Ay, ay, ay. I think it's a scam. Okay, so we've got these. These are going to be Gary Labonte cars. I'll go ahead and create the invoice. I'll just come over here and sit down and create the invoice real quick. And then I'll call Gary. I'll have Gary Labonte call me later. So, okay, so Farlo, how you doing, Farlo? Well, what's nickname? What's Nick's gonna be? Nick's. What's Nick's gonna? What is Nick's? Let's see here. Nickname. That's right. What is Nick's nickname? I've got one for Xavier. I'm gonna call him Philo. Philo Farnsworth. Philo. Gary Labonte. What a name. That's French too, guys. G-A-R-Y. Labonte. L-E-B. Labonte. Gary. L. How would you spell Labonte? L-O-B. Gary L-A. L.A. Bond. Oh, there it is. Labonte. Oh, yeah, like Mutiny on the Bounty. So that's Gary Labonte. Okay, so AMT. He gets 20% off on model kits right now. And then we have Ravel 85 4228. 85, 42, 28. All right, so we have both those model kits for Gary Labonte. We gave him 20% off. Let me go ahead and call him. Yeah, I'm trying to get a hold of Gary Labonte, please. We Gary Labonte, I got you both model kits, a 20% discount on the model kits. And we got it all ready for you. All I need to get is your credit card payment, and we will process for you right now, my friend. Okie dokie, I don't know if I have okie dokie or not. Okay, I have Gary Labonte, not okie dokie. Okay, go ahead, Gary, with your credit card, my friend. Yes, my friend. Yes, go ahead, my friend. Yes, very good, go. Oh, wait a minute, I forgot the tires. Oh, shoot. Hold on a second, what did I do with those tires? Yeah, the little Thunderjet fat tires. Hold on. They were just here. Oh, here they are. I got them. All right. Oh, we got to do that over again because I got to get this in. I got to start over again. All right, so we got to add this item. ST dash 2031. Okay. Yeah, hold on. I got to get you back into the payment process so I can. Yeah, but you're getting more than the club membership. Oh, sweet. Awesome. All right, go ahead with the card again. Yes. 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 Yes, you did, Gary. So do you miss David and I? Do you miss David and I? Well, we're gonna do it more. We're gonna do it more to more people too. So, well, I appreciate everything you did for us. Thank you very much, Gary. All right. Well, yeah, just Get that Volvo station wagon. That's a classic. Get that running again. Yeah, take you out there. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks a lot. All right. Yeah, bye-bye. All right, that's Gary Labonte. We now met Gary Labonte. He's got very long hair. He's got, he looks like Santa Claus, really. Okay, so what else? Oh, yeah, so we were talking about some of the fun stuff we have. We have the Magic Rabbit Magic Kit, okay? How about a doctor? You got some grandkids that you want, they can pretend to be a nurse. We have these little nurses set. Check these out. These are just fun little toys. We also have plenty of we keep selling. I bought a ton of this. Now the phone doesn't want to stop ringing. Now the phone doesn't stop want to ring. Now what did I do with the phone I had? What the heck? Where did the phone go? Hello? Hello? Oh no, Anthony Bateman's calling. Oh no, hello? Hello? Oh, everybody is trying to call me. Now we got Anthony Bateman calling me. Oh my gosh, now I'll have Peter calling me.
Hey, Bryan,
Yes, Anthony.
you know that there was a truck that sold Gary Labonte?
Yes.
That was a white truck.
Yes, white pickup truck, Ford pickup truck.
Do you have another one of those?
Yes, I do.
Well, I would like to buy it, please.
Okay.
It looks like a hot rod, right?
Yes, it is.
Get my credit card out.
You want to buy it right this second?
Well, yeah, if I
All right, hold on a second. I got to go get one. Okay, now all of a sudden I'm selling 100 of these things. I should probably go over every one of these model kits because I probably would sell 1 million of them. You what?
I want to turn it into a slug out.
Okay, well that is going to be tricky. But yes,
No, I still want it regardless.
it will work. You can get it done.
How you doing?
What? Good. Well, do you have the tires with it?
Yep.
Okay. I need the caps if you
Yeah.
don't mind.
If you can get those while I get Gary Anthony Bateman's order. You do that, I'll do this. How's that? Unless you want to talk to Anthony Bateman, he would love for you to talk to him. You don't want to talk to Anthony Bateman? He doesn't want to talk to you, Anthony.
That's okay. He's
Xavier.
busy.
He just won't. He doesn't like to talk to people.
No problem. Good morning to him anyway.
Bateman.
Yeah, he had a great show this morning.
Yes, it was Philo Farnsworth. "14 years old and he invents the television."
Yeah, it's amazing.
No, it's beyond amazing. It's just it doesn't make it's.
I think Nikola Tesla's amazing, and too bad they didn't keep funding him the money. You know.
Well, at least he got our electrical grid over to DC
Yeah.
or I mean AC. I mean,
I know what you meant.
they wanted to go. Thomas Edison was obsessed with AC or DC, and just wasn't. He couldn't carry the current.
No, alternate current.
It had to be alternate current. Okay, so with the discount, 20% off on the model kit. Anything else? That's it?
That's it for now. I wanted you to show me those marbles you had.
Oh, the marbles. It's a hold on a second. Well, I don't think I have the marbles. I'll show you what I have in the way of marbles. Because I'm out of the one that's strictly marbles, but I've got the tiddlywinks. I have the jacks, jumbo jacks. It comes with 10 classic jacks, 2 rubber balls, and then I have the old tavern shooter, which is it comes with 2 game boards, 4 marbles, and basically you would shoot the marbles into these little, almost like putting things. I have these. This is the only thing I have in the way of marbles right now. No, I know what you want. I just don't have them right now.
I'll wait till you get them, then.
You what?
I'll wait till whenever you get them.
All right, let me get this. All right, so we're ready. Just
take me off of the speaker so I give you my credit card number.
No, I want everybody to hear it, Anthony.
No, I don't.
Can you hear me now? Are you working on now? I meant to call you earlier. Have you been working on the track planner? Uh-oh, I know. Oh, okay. All right. All right, go with your card. And the expiration? And the number on the back? And this will ship today. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Have a good day. Okay, bro. Okay, bro. All right, bro. Take it easy. Take it easy, bro. All right, bro. Take it easy. Oh, say, can you see? Bye. All right, so we got that, and then we have these Steelworks. We have just a ton of toys. You know, I will admit that this is the most depressing thing about having a toy store is that, you know, we have so many unique toys that are just different. You know, they're just fun stuff. You know, we got these junk bots. I bought a ton of these, and I have a ton left. But you know what? These are not dated. You can get these for any kids because this one here, the double one, and I've been talking about these since 21. These basically have 2 modules. Now, what is a module? There's a power module and a light module. The power module will motorize your robot that you build. These are great. Plus, we have the big factories. They don't make these anymore. It went out of business. It's really sad because I think this was cool. This is the factory, which you get over 285 parts. You get 3 robots, which includes Willop, Jabbler, and Proper. And you get to build this giant vehicle with all these pipes. And this all comes inside of this little kit. This is an all-day project for a boy and a girl if they like to work on machinery and all that. We have this is the big one, and then we have the small one, which is this one right here, which is this comes with 200 parts. But we have the Hexmod R. So if you've got a kid that likes to build RC cars, he basically, these used to be in Radio Shack. And this is basically a mini kit. It comes with a Hitachi motor, screwdriver, tires. You basically build this RC car out of a kit. These are really great for only 39 bucks. And then we have all these little girly toys, itty bitty pretty things. These are all little kits. Hot Wheels, we got the world's smallest Hot Wheels. We have the Hot Wheel track with a car. I mean, I could go over, I could spend a whole day. Matter of fact, I think when I come back from my vacation, I'm going to go over every item that we have in this store. That's all I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up every item. Like this. You want to get a fun toy for boys and girls? Aftershock. It's a mini earthquake. Just a mini earthquake. How many kids can have a mini earthquake in their house? I'm just telling you. How about an accordion? You want an accordion? I've got accordions right here. You want me to play an accordion? Xavier loves when I play accordions.
Prefer you not.
He prefers me not.
Went so far as to hide it.
Okay, well, you do realize that I need to do that to show it to customers.
You can tell it in the box.
Yes, but they like to hear it, Xavier. Do you want me to pull it out of the box?
Prefer you not.
So now I have to find the accordion to see where he hid it from me. Unbelievable. Hey, I know what I got. Look what I found. We even have a xylophone. Oh, this is even funner than a
It's not a word.
xylophone.
Not that.
Look at this, guys. I have an xylophone. Happy birthday, Toledo, Toledo. Happy birthday, Toledo, Toledo. See that? It's all about having fun. Xavier just doesn't like having fun. Oh, no, I won't say that. No, that's wrong. Xavier likes to have fun. It's just that he likes to have fun in front of his computer, talking to his buddies about, what do you call that game? Check this out. Mr. Robot. How about a Tonka bulldozer smasher with its own mud? How about Smithsonian microscope? All this is available at ProTinkerToys.com. We are basically the quickest and fun store that you could be at, okay? How about little sand? Check that out. My Little Pony. Doorables. How about Doorables? We got everything. I mean, I could sit here for the next hour and go through all the things. How about a hippo? How about a hippo? How about a hippo? Hi there, my name is Wilbur. Wilbur the hippo. My name is Wilbur the hippo. Yes, I get paid to do this, okay, guys? How about a dinosaur? Now, believe it or not, we only have a few of these left. We really sold a lot of these, and it's just that we just bought, we got too much stuff. How about a beautiful bulldog? All this is available on our website, ProTinkerToy.com. Type in plush, type in animals, okay? How about a green dinosaur? How about little bears? Cute little bears. How about dinosaurs? Yeah, yeah. Baseball. Oh, cool. This basically a ball shoots out of here and then you can swing it. Good practicing device. We have these little foxes, plushable foxes. How about little monkey socks? We just got a lot of toys. We sell a lot of slinkies. Now I'm not allowed to buy anything. Okay, we're in a buying freeze. I'm not allowed to buy a single thing. The reason being is that I have plenty of stuff. I don't need to buy anymore. Now there are some things that I'm out of. And I told the boys, hey, should we buy some of the stuff we're out of? And they go, no, we got too much as it is. So I'm basically not buying anything. Okay. Now we've got Nate back here. Nate is in the vault. Okay. Now he brought in another shelving unit, which I told him we don't need that here. I got to talk to Daniel. I didn't talk to Daniel last night about it. He is inventorying everything in here. Okay, so I can't go in there because, man, he's farted so much. So he's inventorying everything in here. So I can't go in the vault, so I'm going to leave him alone. I can't show you all the guns. I can show you the swords. We have this great Black Knight. We have the Black Knight. We have the King Arthur sword. We have the Black Knight. These are all swords made by Magnum Enterprises. Plus we have all their wooden rubber band guns. I have the Trident sword. Look at this. If you're wanting to buy your kids something that you've never seen before, this is the place to get it. And all the things behind me, right behind me here, these are all of our die-cast cap guns. If you ever want to get a cap gun, ProTinker Toys, let me do a video on that right now. So what I got to do is I got to turn the camera this way so you guys can't see me. I've got my X turned, and now I'm going to do it on YouTube on my iPhone. I'm going to flip around here back to channel 1. All right, so we are in channel 1. Oh my gosh, stop! Oh God, get off me! Oh God, stop! I used to do that all the time. Okay, all right, so we're gonna do a short. We're gonna do a 2-minute short. Okay, this is a Bryan Young. Bryan Young at ProTinkerToys.com. We are on camera A and B. I can't be on YouTube because this is live stream, and I'm gonna be showing off all the cap guns that we have. We have over 100 different cap guns. We have wooden rubber band guns. We have every type of cap gun and rubber band guns you can possibly imagine. And every time I show off all of our toy guns, we sell 1 million of them. And one thing nice about our toy guns, especially our cap guns, they're all made in Spain by Goner Guns. And they're die cast. Okay, remember, die cast is high quality. Listen to this. Watch this. You want to see something? Oh yeah, baby. You want a 7-year-old to do something fun all day, all summer long? Look at that. Mommy, I want one of those. What is this? These are official cowboy pistols from the 1870s. That's right, all die cast. These are 8-shot cap guns. Yeah, baby. Pow, pow, get him, yeah, 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 yeah. Pow, pow, pow. These are all available at ProTinkerToys.com. We have over 50 different cap guns, plus we have 50 different wooden rubber band guns. We have everything you can possibly imagine at ProTinker. We have plenty of toys too. So if you want a lot of toys, plus if you want some pirate guns, this is a brand new one. This is a double barrel. Watch this. Look at that double shot. It's got a double shot lever. Look at this. Watch. Oh yeah, baby. Oh, a 5-year-old, 7-year-old love this. Old pirate, I'm gonna get you, matey. That's right. I walk the plank. I can have my one eye shut, and I can be a pirate eye. Yeah, pirate eye, baby. At ProTinkerToys.com. Don't forget to keep your eye open, Bride. And see you later. Okay, so that was another fun video. Another fun video at ProTinkerToys.com. I have all these different camera mounts. You can't show cap guns or anything on live streams, unfortunately. And so we're going to show that to all the different social medias. We're going to do Instagram. We're going to do Whippy Manta. Whippy Manta is a new platform that is starting up. It's called Whippy Manta. Whippy Mampa. Yeah, right. Whippy Mampa. Whippy Mampa is a new social media site that they're starting. It's got like 50 subscribers right now, but it's hopefully it's going to catch on. Wooden rubber band guns and die cast cap guns available at ProTinkerToys.com. All right, we're going to post that, upload that. So we're uploading that now to YouTube. All right. And we've already showed that off. We've had 1,000 views. We have 85 views. Why? Maybe I should.
Hey, Bryan Young, Espanol. Bryan Young, these are Connor guns made in Espanol. That's not, it's Espanol, Spanish. Fabricated. They're fabricated. This is the best sell
I think I already posted that.
rifle that we have. Okay, this is.
Why do I only have 65 views on that when I've had the other one that's 700, 1,000 views? So, we are wooden rubber band guns made out of solid 100% wood. It's made out of poplar wood, Arbuckle. It's made in Rapid City, South Dakota, and he gets all that wood. I can't remember where he gets that wood from.
Okay, this is Bryan Young. Bryan Young at ProTinkerToys.com. We're on camera A and B. I can't be on YouTube because this is live stream, and I'm going to be showing.
Hey Dad, do an impression of Joe Pesci waiting way too long for his food order, and then they bring it and get something wrong on it.
I'm not wearing a watch, but I can feel time ticking.
You know what's going to be happening? Little Larry and Samuel, they're going to start picking on each other. Look at Larry and Samuel. Look at Larry and Samuel. One of them is crying, and I guarantee you one of them's been picked on. Okay, so anyways, we have to leave tomorrow morning. My wife, you know, sometimes she has these weird things, you know. Number one, she can't see, and so she drives at night. Give me a break. So she wants to leave at like 5 o'clock. I'm trying to think. Oh my gosh. So we have to go to Connecticut this weekend for a funeral. My Aunt Linda died. Beautiful woman. I loved her very much. I'm very sorry. I'm probably going to cry when I get there. Anyway, she's having a funeral along with my brother-in-law, Dennis. He passed away about 2 months ago, and he died. He's had some battle with his liver, and so he passed away. So they're going to bury him together. So we're having a dual funeral on Saturday. So I'm driving tomorrow morning. We're leaving to go to Connecticut. We're going to be there till Sunday. I'll be back Monday morning, so you guys won't have to worry about not having a live stream, but I will be back Monday. My beautiful face, all that I have to offer is going to be available on Monday. Philo Farnsworth. Philo Farnsworth. I cannot get that out of my head. Philo, look at, you know what? I have some really cool, look at these Hot Wheel 4-packs or 5-packs. Check out that Ford there. You know, there are some really cool cars. Here's a really cool one right here. Look at this. It's got a El Camino. See, I think the problem with Hot Wheels is they do too much of this. They should just do different bodies. Okay? But just regular, I just can't imagine the amount of cost to make these cars. All these different cars. And a lot of them have plastic. Everything's all plastic now. Hot Wheels. Batman. So we have a lot of different, we have the Eagle Owl RV or drone. Nate, don't forget the stuff over here too. There's these drones right here. Look at that drone. B-1 bomber. We got these remote controlled boats. Unbelievable. I'm gonna put this in the pond and do a video later today of one of these. These are really easy too, and they're really fast. These go almost 10 miles an hour, which is fast on the water. I'm gonna do a couple of these boats. And what's his name? Derek wants me to do a boat. So we're gonna do some boats. So I got my camper. The camper, for some reason the battery was dead. I don't know why, because I had, we went camping 2 weeks ago. No, it's 3 weeks ago now. When was Memorial Day? Where is the time gone? That was 2 weeks ago. I don't know where time has gone. Honestly, I don't know where the time has gone. It's like, so we're going to end the show with showing off some things here. There's a couple cars that we're running low on. I don't have anything else to say. I have literally talked nonstop for 2 hours. I haven't stopped talking for 2 hours, okay? And I don't know what else to say today. Derek is mad with me because he says I'm boring. How does that make sense?
As protesters, we, in our oath to serve, we serve the people of the United States. The Constitution, these constitutional rights being stripped and just denied, and the military will not respond to that. So I'm calling upon the conscience of military members who served previously and now. We have a conscience with mind, and we have a duty and moral obligation to say no and resist evil.
My fellow Americans, it is with overwhelming enthusiasm that I am declaring that that anyone who protests or interferes with ICE and their operations is officially gay, big time. With that being said, go ahead and call your dad.
No sense at all. When Bryan was born, he didn't scream. When the doc smacked him on the back, he said, "ProTinker Toys, ProTinker Toys." Well, so everybody understands. I don't know how many people are watching, so I'm going to end with this, okay? I don't know how many people know the history of how ProTinker Toys got started. And so I'm just going to give you a quick recap of how ProTinkerToys got started. And it all started in the mid-90s. My wife was working at Bowling Green Christian Academy, and she was not having luck with her science fairs. And she asked me if I would help. And so I created this character called Professor Tinker. That's what I did. I just created it, Professor Tinker. And it was based on the crazy professor in the Nutty Professor, from Jerry Lewis's The Nutty Professor. Okay, he kind of talked like this. Here, hold on. He kind of talked like this, see? Yeah. And it was a cross between, kind of talked like this, and Pee Wee Herman. So Professor Tinker would come into the school. I had a white wig, I had glasses on, I had a lab coat, and I'd kind of talk in, okay, children, now this is what we're going to do. We're going to do a project, see here. And that's what we're going to do, build a big project. So I did Professor Tinker for about 5 years for my wife. I then created 2 other alter egos, which were all brothers from Professor Tinker. The other one was Professor Wacko, which was a little crazier guy, and he would do crazy things, okay? And then the last one was, I did in probably, I think 1998, I did Professor or Captain Technology, which was the brothers of Professor Tinker and Wacko. Captain Technology had this silver costume. I still have the costume too. A silver costume. He kind of looked, and my wife made it. He kind of like a futuristic time traveler. And so I did all these things. And then when I lost my job with Irwin Toy, I decided to open up Professor Tinker's workshop, which was, I then incorporated Professor Tinker as the mascot. Okay. And that's how it all got started. That's how it got started. And that's how I came up with Professor Tinker. And then Ryan, in 2020, he come to me, Dad, can I create a website with Professor Tinker? Well, he couldn't I used to have a website called Professor Tinker's Workshop, but somebody else had taken that website. So Ryan got in there and he got Professor Tinker or ProTinkerToys.com. And I said, that's fine. And that's how we got ProTinkerToys.com. I think it started with a dream and you went forward with it. That's exactly what it was. I didn't have a job. And I said, let me just create another store. And I created Professor Tinker's Workshop. It was basically a Chuck E. Cheese and a toy store. That's what it was. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. A dream, a vision. And I'm letting everybody share my vision dream on these live streams. I want to thank everybody for watching today's live stream. We've had a great show. I'm going to have another okay, so what I do is I've created a new hot dog bun. I've always thought hot dog buns were kind of over bunned, and I always thought there was too much bun for the hot dog. And so what I do is, I probably should do a video on it, but I'm not in the mood to do it today. How make a TV. So what I do is I take a large piece of whole wheat toast, I cut all the crust off, and then I put mustard and ketchup, and then I lay the hot dog right on this, and then you just fold it up, and it's a perfect hot dog bun. And I buy these hot dogs at Costco, all beef. I slice it in half, and I put cheese right in the center of it. Oh my gosh, it's great for lunch. I think I'm going to have another one today. Shh, don't tell anybody. Okay, guys, everybody is watching today. I might do a live stream in the car with my wife because I want to pick on my wife tomorrow. So I might do a live stream with her in the car because I don't think you've ever seen, I think you have with the camper, but she's going to be sitting next to me. And I think I might do a live stream with her in the car. So maybe she could tell you some stories about me. And we'll just go from there. Okay. Is everything okay there on X? Everybody alive on X? We don't get too many comments on X. Like on YouTube, you get over 100 comments. I mean, we've had over 200 comments today, at least 200. And that's what YouTube wants to see. YouTube wants to see how many people are actually commenting on my videos. And so when you like and subscribe there on the bottom, that helps so much. And therefore, more people will see about us. Kathy can tell us about how you met. I could tell you how we met, but I'll let her tell you how she met. Because basically, she always says she fell in love with the uniform. When she saw me in a uniform, she just wanted to marry just such a great, handsome guy. Which I admit, I was very handsome when I was in my 20s, okay? Whose birthday is it? So my birthday is on Friday. Today is the 11th. Tomorrow is the 12th. And Friday is the 13th. Oh, wait a minute. Friday the 13th.
You're just becoming more ancient.
Friday the 13th. What do you mean I'm becoming more ancient, Xavier?
With your birthday?
What?
With your birthday?
No, I'm going to be 66. What are you looking for, Xavier?
The 3 boxes.
What do you mean the three?
Trays.
What do you mean the 3 boxes
The
trays?
trays of the cars that were put together.
Weren't they over here? Oh, they're right here.
Yes, that way I can refill.
What are you doing with them?
Refilling.
What do you mean refilling?
With the ones that have been put together.
So these are the 3 cars. Oh, this is Xavier, guys. If you didn't know, this is Xavier. For people that don't watch our live stream,
Get out, please. So much.
you have to at least say good morning, everyone. You won't do it. Did you scare me this morning?
Yes, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Did you? So you did that.
Yes.
So let me ask you a question. So you did that on purpose then?
Sort of.
What do you mean, sort of? Well, give me the
You
details.
just happened to be there, so I took the advantage of it.
Can you believe this? This is what I have to deal with. And he's standing there. He wants to engage so much, but he right now he's about ready to laugh. He can't hold it in. That's why he keeps turning his head. It's like this kid.
Please.
If you say, Bryan, you're the greatest.
No.
Bryan, I love working for you.
I enjoy it.
Okay, he enjoys. That's all I need to know. All right, guys. So Xavier's going to restock the GT Tribute, which is the silver, the gold, and the black GTs. Yippee-yi-yo-ki-yay. All right, so we are going to sign off today. I might do a live stream tonight up in the shed. So you might want to, I've got a video that's there. I might want to do that. I might do that starting around 5 o'clock. So I will let you know on that. You'll see that come up live. And people on X, please comment on X. We need more people commenting and sharing. You need to share this with people on YouTube. Everybody needs to share. We all need to just get along. You know what I'm saying? And don't forget to check out all of our wonderful products at ProTinkerToys.com. We have big sales. All I can say is this. I'm going to end with this. I promise. That the Bryan bargains, the 64 Bryan bargains that I have, any one of them, you are saving anywhere from 20 to 30%. It's already baked in. And if you're a club member and you buy a Bargains bargain, you're getting an extra 10%. I don't know what else to tell you. So if you want to spend some money this week and then support ProTinkerToys.com, go to our website, go to Bryan's Bargains, and check out all the wonderful bargains that we have for you at ProTinkerToys.com. All right, guys, see you later on X. Okay, that one's done. So we're done with that, and then we are done with YouTube, right, guys? Everybody, wonderful day. Thank you very much for Adam's Bargains Wednesdays. That's right. Adams Vargas, he has to get in that nig. He has to nig there. Unbelievable. I can't understand. All right, see you later.